When we talk about the greatest mysteries of human history, one name rises above them all: the lost city of Atlantis. Imagine a land of incredible wealth, breathtaking architecture, and knowledge far beyond its time. A civilization so advanced that it seemed almost supernatural, yet one day it disappeared without a trace. The legend begins with the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, who wrote about Atlantis over 2,000 years ago. In his dialogues Timaeus and Critias, he described a mighty island empire located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we know today as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to him, Atlantis was larger than Libya and Asia Minor combined, a powerful kingdom that ruled the seas and expanded its influence across much of the known world. Plato painted a picture that sounds like a utopia: beautiful palaces shimmering with gold, temples dedicated to the gods, fertile lands full of crops, and technology that seemed centuries ahead of its time. But alongside the beauty came ambition. The Atlanteans grew hungry for more power, conquering lands and imposing their will on neighboring civilizations. It was this arrogance, Plato wrote, that angered the gods. In a single day and night of misfortune, Atlantis was swallowed by the sea, never to be seen again. This dramatic tale has captured imaginations for centuries. Some believe Plato's account was pure allegory, a moral lesson about the dangers of pride and greed. Others argue it might have been inspired by real events, perhaps a memory of a powerful civilization destroyed by natural disaster. Whatever the truth may be, the story has never lost its power to fascinate. Think about it: a mighty empire vanishing overnight, leaving behind no ruins, no artifacts, nothing but whispers of its greatness. It's the perfect combination of history and mystery, fact and legend. What makes Atlantis so compelling is not just the idea of a lost city, but the possibility that an entire chapter of human history may be missing. Could there really have been an ancient civilization with technology far beyond its time? Could humanity have once reached heights of power and knowledge, only to be erased by nature itself? These questions have fueled centuries of debate, from scholars in dusty libraries to explorers setting sail across the oceans in search of clues. Even today, Atlantis continues to inspire books, movies, and documentaries, each adding their own spin to the story. But what cannot be denied is the timeless allure of Plato's description. His words set the stage for one of the greatest historical mysteries the world has ever known. Whether Atlantis was a real empire swallowed by the sea, or just a symbolic tale invented to warn future generations, one thing is certain: the legend refuses to die. And as we step deeper into this journey, we must ask ourselves, was Plato simply telling a story, or was he passing down a memory of a lost world that once truly existed? As centuries passed, the story of Atlantis refused to fade away. Long after Plato's time, historians, philosophers, and explorers wrestled with the question: was this a simple fable or an account of something real? The ancient world was filled with legends of lost lands, sunken kingdoms, and cities wiped out by divine wrath. And many began to wonder if Plato's Atlantis was just one version of a much older tale. Some early scholars believe that Atlantis might have been inspired by the powerful Minoan civilization, which thrived on the island of Crete thousands of years ago. The Minoans were masters of trade, builders of advanced cities, and a society of immense cultural influence. But their empire was shaken by a catastrophic volcanic eruption on the nearby island of Thera, what we now call Santorini. Entire towns were buried under ash, and massive waves swept across the Aegean Sea. Could this disaster have been remembered in myths and transformed into the legend of Atlantis? Others turned their eyes to Egypt, pointing to the stories preserved in hieroglyphs and oral traditions. Plato himself claimed that the tale of Atlantis had come from Egyptian priests, who told visiting Greeks about a great civilization that once existed far to the west. If that is true, then perhaps the Egyptians were preserving memories of a real event passed down through generations. The question then becomes, was it a single city that vanished or an entire civilization swallowed by time? The mystery deepened as explorers in later centuries uncovered strange maps and accounts of lands that no longer exist. Some maps from the age of exploration seem to show islands in the Atlantic that are not there today. Were these cartographer errors, or could they be echoes of a landmass that once existed? Sailors' stories often spoke of strange ruins and massive stone structures hidden beneath the waves, fueling speculation that remnants of Atlantis were still out there, waiting to be discovered. For many, Atlantis symbolized the possibility that human history is far older and more complex than we are taught. Ancient cultures from South America to Asia share myths of floods and sunken kingdoms, suggesting a shared memory of a disaster so vast it scarred the human imagination forever. Could all these myths point to a single origin? A world-spanning catastrophe that wiped out civilizations long before recorded history began? Every culture added another layer to the mystery, and every theory pulled Atlantis further into the realm of both history and imagination. Was it an island in the Mediterranean? A continent in the Atlantic? Or perhaps, as some believed, a story that stretched across the globe, linked to every flood myth and every lost world humans have ever told? The search for Atlantis was no longer just about geography or archaeology. It became a quest to understand whether legends can preserve real history. And as the centuries rolled on, curiosity only grew stronger, paving the way for modern explorers and scientists to join the hunt for the lost city. As the modern age unfolded, the legend of Atlantis refused to stay buried. Explorers, scientists, and adventurers all turned their gaze toward the seas, determined to prove whether this mysterious city truly existed. With every discovery of an underwater ruin or a strange geological formation, whispers of Atlantis resurfaced, igniting debates that continue even today. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence lies in the Mediterranean, where the volcanic island of Santorini holds the scars of a catastrophic eruption that occurred thousands of years ago. Archaeologists uncovered the remains of an advanced Bronze Age city buried under layers of volcanic ash. Streets, buildings, and even beautifully preserved frescoes revealed a culture of remarkable sophistication. To many, this discovery seemed to echo Plato's words, a prosperous civilization destroyed in a single violent disaster. But was it Atlantis, or just another powerful kingdom lost to nature's fury? Further across the Atlantic, divers stumbled upon strange formations near the Bahamas, known as the Bimini Road. Massive stone blocks, aligned in patterns that resembled pathways or walls, rest beneath the waves. To some researchers, it looked like the remnants of a sunken city. To skeptics, it was nothing more than natural rock formations. Yet the discovery fueled endless speculation, drawing treasure hunters, documentary filmmakers, and dreamers who insisted that perhaps these stones were all that remained of Atlantis itself. And then there are the Azores, a chain of islands in the mid-Atlantic, often cited as a possible location for the lost city. Towering cliffs, underwater plateaus, and unusual structures have made some believe this region hides secrets from a forgotten world. Satellite images and sonar scans have revealed strange shapes on the ocean floor, leading to claims of submerged pyramids and ancient walls. Scientists may dismiss many of these findings as coincidences or misinterpretations, but the allure of Atlantis ensures that no discovery goes unnoticed. With advances in technology, the search has only intensified. Sonar mapping, deep-sea submersibles, and satellite imagery are uncovering more of the ocean floor than ever before. What once seemed impossible, finding a lost civilization beneath miles of water, suddenly feels just within reach. Every anomaly, Every unexplained structure, every discovery of a sunken ruin somewhere in the world becomes a candidate for the legendary city. Yet, the mystery persists. No discovery has ever been universally accepted as Atlantis. Some scientists argue that it never existed at all, while others believe that fragments of truth lie buried beneath layers of myth. Perhaps Plato exaggerated, or perhaps he preserved the memory of something real and ancient catastrophe that erased a civilization. From the map dot, what is undeniable is the magnetic pull of the legend. The possibility that Atlantis might be real drives explorers to risk their lives, fuels documentaries that captivate millions, and keeps the world wondering, what else lies hidden beneath the waves? If a civilization like Atlantis once existed, its discovery could rewrite everything we know about human history. And that possibility is what makes the search impossible to abandon. For thousands of years, Atlantis has stood at the crossroads of myth and reality. Some insist it was nothing more than a story, a fable created by Plato to warn against the dangers of arrogance, greed, and unchecked power. Yet others believe the tale carries fragments of truth, an echo of a real civilization wiped out by catastrophe, preserved through whispers and legends across cultures. The line between history and imagination becomes blurred, and perhaps that is why Atlantis still captivates us today. Think about it. Why would a story endure for over 2 millennia if it held no significance at all? Human history is filled with tales of floods, disasters, and civilizations swallowed by the sea. From the biblical flood to the ancient Sumerian epics, from Hindu traditions to Native American legends, the theme of a great deluge repeats itself. Across the world, could Atlantis be just another version of the same ancient memory, retold in different tongues? Or was it something far greater, a global civilization whose knowledge and achievements were lost overnight? Modern science has tried to draw a line between fact and fantasy, but even with satellites scanning the ocean floors and submarines diving into the deepest trenches, the ocean still holds more secrets than the surface of the moon. Vast stretches of the seabed remain unexplored, and in those unexplored depths, anything could be waiting, perhaps even the remains of Plato's fabled empire. Until we map every corner of our oceans, can we ever truly say Atlantis does not exist? And yet, maybe the real power of Atlantis isn't in whether it was real or not. Maybe its true impact lies in the way it continues to spark curiosity, to push us toward discovery, to remind us that history is never as simple as we think. Atlantis represents possibility, the idea that humanity has forgotten chapters of its own story, that there may have been ages of greatness long before the ones we know. It's that tantalizing what if that keeps us searching. If Atlantis was real, then it would rewrite human history as we know it, proving that civilizations far more advanced than we believed existed long before our textbooks begin. And if it was only a myth, then it is still one of the greatest myths ever told, one that has shaped culture, literature, and imagination for centuries. In either case, Atlantis is a story that refuses to die, a legend that continues to live as long as humanity hungers for knowledge and mystery. So, the question remains, do you believe Atlantis was a real city swallowed by the sea, or just the greatest story ever told? Whatever your answer, the legend of Atlantis will continue to inspire explorers, historians, and dreamers for generations to come. And if you enjoyed this journey into one of history's greatest mysteries, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with others who love uncovering the secrets of the past. Your support keeps these stories alive, and together, we'll keep exploring the mysteries that still wait to be discovered.